Hey, True Believers, Englentine here, and this is the original thumbnail. I kind of dig this. I do like the newer one better anyway. This is the next battle. Fan Thing versus Robert Willing. They stepped up out of nowhere. Everybody who was originally scheduled to be a part of this Thunderdome had something to do, so they came in, and all of it was impromptu. They had no prep time for these questions. I've got to say, they did very well considering. Anyway, that all aside, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about me reprinting these here, or reposting, I guess. And
I hope you guys join
sit
us
back,
next Sunday.
relax, let's get this party started.
Thunderdome. Fan Thing and Robert Willing. What superhero would be the best choice to take up the mantle of the Bat should Bruce Wayne retire?
Black Panther.
Yes. I would say Lex Luthor.
We have Black Panther from Robert Willing and Lex Luthor from Man Thing. Robert Willing, open statement. Why?
Because Black Panther is both very rich, very skilled, strong, very good at the intimidation factor, has enough experience at his back to be able to handle his own. His intelligence is right up there with Reed Richards, and he's practically Batman's equal as far as being a big comic zoo.
I Lex Luthor, Fan Thing.
The pathos in the choice of Lex Luthor puts an interesting spin on the Joker's interaction with the Batman. So Joker doesn't necessarily look at the Batman as Bruce Wayne. Batman is Batman. So if someone else takes up the mantle, what does Batman mean? And what if Batman was actually a greater threat than Joker, and Joker actually has to be pushed to change the way he looks at the world? It's a way to take a hero, turn them into an anti-hero, and take a villain and offer them a path to redemption. The arcs that could actually follow through would follow some real problems. There's a investment in leaving Batman intact that would allow Lex Luthor to push against Superman and get that relationship back on a strange footing. A lot of story opportunity.
All righty. Now you two fight it out. Why would the others yours be better than the other, and the other be worse than yours? Go.
Well, Lex Luthor, he's too much of an egotistic, if you ask me. His mind would just get the better of him. Yes, we've seen him be a heroic, but he still kept going to the villainous side. If nothing else, he'd be closer to a Damian Batman than anything else, but more likely to become the villainous end of things. Whereas T'Challa, he is, and while he's Wakanda first, but and he was able to take over for Daredevil, still keep things clean and centered, and be able to handle whatever was thrown at him.
I like the argument that you make. The difference that I'm making is I'm looking at the pathos of the story. What does T'Challa as an outsider bring that doesn't interact inside that universe scope? So T'Challa brings an outsider perspective, whereas Lex Luthor, in his breadth of experience, is an insider in almost all of the Justice League as one of the big villains. Now he'd get to be an insider. And that difference back and forth is a big deal. The big detractor, and I would have thought you would have played off, is, well, T'Challa is actually a high-end martial artist, whereas Lex Luthor would have to pick up that skill. But Lex has shown over time he's able to just pick up skills as needed. He is effectively Iron Man and Batman and all the other villains and heroes of that similar type. The rich man who can do things.
Well, and while that is very true, Lex has also shown that he is not always the kind of guy to get his hands dirty. Whereas when you bring up Iron Man, for example, Tony enjoys it. T'Challa also likes doing the stuff because it's what he was raised to do. The other thing, though, is as far as pathos and everything, yes, T'Challa is an outsider, but given whatever story we would lead to get him into Gotham, he would still at the same time take everything very seriously, but still having to learn the ways around stuff like the Joker, who, if you ask me, would probably give even T'Challa a run for his money. So between the two of them, Lex has more things going wrong for him that could lead to his own downfall eventually, as it happened already, whereas T'Challa, not so much.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, give me a scene from a comic book that you remember that would really cement that character as Batman.
Well, in my regard, as I've said before, how when he was able to pull off in Daredevil spot, he had a lot of times of being creepy, mysterious, and ass kicking. So I think I got that right there.
I guess I would take a look to Justice League, the animated series. I would look to the scenes, or was it the movie, or where Lex Luthor was able to actually get Superman's powers and see, whoa, there's more to know. And there's
All-Star Superman.
All-Star Superman, where basically you saw Lex broke down. He saw all of the shallow things. Or you could go back to Red Sun and see that Lex is a heroic person in Red Sun. So there are examples of.
Are we able to give rebuttals? Are we able to give rebuttals to this part or no?
Time's up. That was 6 minutes. All righty. I like those arguments. At first, I got to admit, I was listening and I thought Fan Thing came off a little bit weak when you first started, but in the end, you both brought up the same amount of points, and I really liked that you, Fan Thing, were thinking of story, not just character. You were thinking more, not just, oh, this would be cool, but you were actually thinking of the storyline. I like that part. On the other hand, Robert brought up that T'Challa has experience being a superhero. He also mentioned how Lex Luthor might just be too egotistical. I was kind of surprised you didn't hit him back with "so is Bruce Wayne." But
well, some things don't need to be said. I mean, T'Challa's
being able to scare the Joker was a point you brought up, Fan Thing, and I thought that was really cool. The crazy anti-hero, and the fact that he's an insider in the DC universe because he knows a whole bunch about everybody. Now, both of you also argued against each other because Robert Willing said that T'Challa would take on Wakanda first. He would always look after Wakanda first, while Batman is a Gotham hero. So that was a negative to T'Challa. But Fan Thing, you also brought up the fact that Black Panther's already a skilled fighter. Mm-hmm. And so you also argued against each other. What do you think? What do you think, Anya? Who do you think won this round?
Well, you had the arguments of who would be the better fighter, but Man Thing forgot one important argument in his favor for Lex Luthor being Batman. He has all the toys.
Yeah. Okay, but that.
So does T'Challa.
No,
what do you?
No, he doesn't.
What do you think of? What do you think of what they said?
What they said. If they both,
who made the better argument?
They both had convincing arguments, but I kind of have to give it to the Man Thing because he argued the point that Lex Luthor knows that universe, and it's kind of hard to put somebody in a different universe. Yes, it would make good outsider stories, but in the end, it'd be hard to justify why he's there.
Okay. Whereas, how about you, Dalton? What did you think about the arguments?
I'm going to give this one to Robert because, for one thing, Man Thing, one of your first arguments was a non-diegetic argument, and in my opinion, secondary non-diegetic arguments should always be secondary to the
you might have to explain that to people like me who don't know what a non-diegetic. Go on ahead. What do you mean by non-diegetic?
Diegesis is the term for like narrative separation. Mm-hmm. So a diegetic thing is a thing from within the confines of the universe.
Okay, so what did he say? What did he say that was a non-diegetic?
He made this would be best for the story argument, but he didn't. But in my opinion, you should always try to work within the confines of the universe rather than go, well, this would be cool for the story. Well, yes, okay. But
alrighty,
does it make any goddamn sense?
So we got one Fan Thing, one for Robert, and after looking over everything, I've got to go against you there. I give my point to Fan Thing. I just thought he made a stronger as to why Lex Luthor would, and I did like the fact that he explained why the story might be better for it. I like the insider bit, and the fact that he mentioned that Lex Luthor even got Superman's powers, while Robert argued for the Daredevil replacement. I just thought, yeah, that's true. I think I just thought that he made a stronger case. So first point to Fan Thing.
Oh, well, thank you very kindly. I think that was
go.
very close.
I did too. It's very,
I agree.
Really good arguments. Really good arguments. What did you guys think? I misheard Diegesis as Diet Jesus. Okay, we've all met that guy too. That's Aristotle Poetics, if memory serves. Who has the most plot armor in all of Marvel? I will write that down as a topic sometime. Me too. I also happen to agree with Lex Luthor too, as Edward Brewer. Smaxo, Wolverine or Sentry. Leonardo Venata says his Bruce Wayne's power as well.
Between the two of them, both of them have obscene amounts of cash. T'Challa effectively has an infinite amount of cash. Lex
that argument could be
infinite amount of cash, but it's qualitatively less than what T'Challa would claim in the way that it's
argument
organized.
Could be both ways. That's right. Okay, that is awesome, and that's basically how the game is played, ladies and gentlemen who came in for the first time. Tell your friends, because I'm planning on doing this every week.
There you go, gang. That was the topic. Those were the subjects of the answers. What do you think? Did the judges get it right? Did they pick the winner? Let me know in the comments below. Who would you choose? Any character across any comic book company who would take up the mantle of the bat after Bruce Wayne retires? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe. And if you haven't done it already, make sure your notifications are on your cell phone to all. And make sure you ring that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Cool things happen around these parts. Now, this is the way we're trying to make a living, so if you don't mind helping out the channel, once again, share, but go on over to Patreon or Ko-Fi and drop $1 in the tip jar, or you can commission a video. A lot of people have done that, and it's been a lot of fun seeing what you guys come up with. You just pick with a topic, pick this subject, and we'll get that to you ASAP. And I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.